Right, so we are live. So welcome everybody. Thanks so much for taking the time to come out. I know it's a crazy time in the semester. We're at, I think it's week 11. So it's things are definitely getting real at this point, whether we like it or not. It's kind of how it is. But hopefully for some of you, things are kind of coming together. And you can kind of see that the end is near in sight. So that's pretty much it. So we have Chin. So we have, as we always have with MISA, always something, right? As we always have with MISA, we alternate between the company information sessions and then the general meetings. And so this last few weeks, we kind of got all jumbled up from the hurricane. So we actually have kind of this run of a bunch of the company information sessions. So last week we had Anthology come in and speak. So you heard from Richie and Kate, some of the other crew there. And then this week and next week, we have company information session and then company information session again. So it's kind of like a nice little run of things we have. So today we have a company that I'm sure all of you have either heard about. If you haven't heard about this company, I don't know, you may be living under a rock. Could be possible. Right, but ADT is huge, and most of you may not even know that their corporate headquarters is right here in Boca. So tonight we actually have two amazing speakers. One, Helena, she's been, I want to steal all her thunder. She's been speaking at MISA for a long time, FAU alum. She was actually my SI leader as well for QMB, so kind of cool how things come together. And then we also have Omar that's going to be speaking as well. He's one of our MIS alums and then current MSITM student. So without any further ado, can we give, for those online and those in person, a very nice warm welcome to our team from ADT.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Thanks everybody for having us and for being flexible with the schedule. We were supposed to be here September 29th and Hurricane Ian had different plans. So we're here today instead. So company session, we work for ADT. This is my 6th year doing this, so apologies if you've heard some of these things before. Can't make up all new stuff, but in general, I find this to be a fantastic series and resources to really all of you to meet different firms and hear some of the latest and greatest of what's going on in the job market and making some additional connections, especially if the firm is local. Oh yes, thank you. Cool. All right. So quickly, the agenda for the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to run some introductions. I have a fantastic co-speaker, Omar, here with me today. We'll do a quick company overview, some exciting acquisitions and partnerships and some innovation that we're currently working on. We'll go through what our working environment looks like today post the pandemic. We'll go through my team, which is the enterprise analytics team. We'll go through Omar's team, which is the audit team or internal audit team. Then we will cover our ADT corporate internship program, which is coming back. We used to have one, we stopped having one, and now we're kind of relaunching a new one. And it will be the first round this summer. So we would like to give you all some additional details around that if there's interest. Some details around the workplace, our office. Again, it's right down the street. And then we'll leave some time at the very end for some Q&A. Gosh.
There we go. Close that on the side. I'll have the video on it.
Oh, yeah, it's all right. Nobody has the camera on, but anyways. I recognize some names. Olsie, I think she was here last
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
Cool. All right, this is me, Helena Popiano. I currently have the pleasure of serving as the Director of Customer Strategy and Analytics. I have been with ADT for almost 10 years. So I've kind of done the entire corporate climb within ADT, started as a senior analyst and been promoted throughout the years. And I serve as the director today. I already said this. I did both my undergraduate and graduate degree here at FAU, the College of Business. I have 2 econ degrees. My path really quickly during my last semester of undergraduate degrees, I ended up doing an internship my last semester with a local bank. I found that to be very helpful to do like half school and half work, kind of, that very stretching when you're kind of sick and tired of school. And then I took 2 years off. I graduated undergraduate. It took 2 years off just to work, just to get my feet wet, build my resume, figure out if I'm doing something that I actually like to do, which I did. And then I went back into my graduate studies sort of full time. I served as a teacher's assistant in the economics department. I used to have an office down in Fleming Hall, one of the ways. And I was also an SL leader for QMB, the dreaded QMB that turned out to be my strength. And that's really it. I encourage everybody who are still in school. It's a fantastic forum to create connections. You're all studying the same thing. You're going to come out in the market in somewhat of the same fashion, right? And you have each other. So definitely take the opportunity to make those connections. Join clubs, join different organizations. I'm a Delta Sigma Pi. It's a business fraternity. And now some of the people that I met in school are also my trusted peers, right? We're all now leaders in the business organization. It's really cool to have that network to fall back on. And Omar.
Hi, everybody. My name is Omar Vasquez. I'm currently an IT auditor at ADT right now. Within the audit department itself, there's two functions: VP, business process, and IT, which I'm a part of. I'm a current graduate student at FAU. I also obtained my undergrad in information systems, specifically in information security. Currently, I'm getting my master's in business analytics. I worked at several companies before I worked at ADT. I recently just had my 6-month anniversary at ADT. So beforehand, I worked at JPMorgan Chase when particularly it was in operations control testing with branches in FDIC rules and regulations. So I was kind of able to translate that into the IT department, you know, since we're auditing different systems, different codes and stuff like that. So it's a little bit about me.
Okay, really quick company overview. If you have been living under a rock, I will pick you up from underneath the rock. Headquarters right down the street on Yamato and Military. It's a really nice building that is not very occupied today. We'll cover that later. We have roughly 200 locations across the United States, 7,000 employees, 300 authorized dealers who have the right to sell ADT brand, ADT equipment on the behalf of ADT. And we serve about 6 million customers. 4 lines of business, predominantly between residential, small business, commercial, and emerging markets. Emerging markets are sort of new things to ADT for which we have not done in the past and we really have a strength in. Some of our main products, of course, is the bread and butter of just regular burglar alarm systems or intrusion systems and life safety, which is monitored fire alarm, CO2, and flood. We have 2, okay. We have 2 smart home platforms that we currently serve. One is called Command, one is called Pulse. We have Blue by ADT, which is our DIY platform that we're slowly transitioning out of and going into Nest products. For those who know, we are currently partnered with Google, hence it opens up a new suite of DIY products in their Nest brand. On the commercial side, we have products that fit a commercial customers such as access control, CCTV, hosted cloud video, video verification. And then under emerging markets, we have cybersecurity, which is currently focused to the commercial customer. So Secure, which is our app, they can be embedded within other apps. We'll get to that in just a minute with our partnerships. And then InvisAware, which is like fall detection for medical reasons. If you need something to be monitored, like your pulse or your heart rate, you wear InvisAware, right, which is like jewelry, watches, pendants, just that. Yeah.
What is your favorite part about your company?
My favorite part about the company. One is very innovative, which is a must. If you think back, and maybe you don't think back, but about 10 years ago, right, ADT was very dominant and we had a big share of the market. And there were not that many big name competitors, which is all changing now, right? I think everybody's aware of Ring, Simply Safe, DIY, you may have just a camera and you think that that is the same thing, that's your way of doing security and surveillance. So we have gone into the past couple of years, a lot of innovation, which is fun, right? It's a way to keep up with the market, evolving with the market, and stay relevant. But right now, I think that's my favorite part, and we'll cover some of that in just a couple of slides. Go ahead.
What's the culture?
What is the what?
What's the culture at the company?
So the culture is a bit split. Again, we may skip some slides in a minute because I'm covering them now, but the corporate office is in a hybrid environment. So we're technically 3 days in, 2 days out. And that is pretty standard corporate America type culture, which is forever changing. Everybody needs to be agile. Things move, things change, bosses move, new leaders come in, departments change and move and merge, etc. So I would call it a very old school, traditional corporate America type of culture. Now, since the pandemic, we also have a huge portion of our workforce that is remote and fully remote and will never see an office. So for example, my team today, I am the only one who's Boca based, and I manage a team that's spread literally across the whole country. And hence we're starting to also merge into a virtual environment, which is kind of different, right? From the coffee chat, I'm just going to sneak by your cube and ask for a favor. All of those things are kind of going out of style, and you need to figure out a new way to get close to the people you work with and the people that you have to stay close with in order to stay aligned. Go ahead.
What makes it traditional?
I would say the forever change. It's always change, and it usually comes all the way from the top all the way down. There's a lot of reconfigurations from departments. So I think over the 10 years I have been there, I think I have been a part of every single department you can possibly think of, even though my function has not changed. Went from finance to marketing to ops to marketing to CX and O to today I'm in marketing again. So it's sort of, you have to stay agile or you will not like corporate environment. It's also very different from a startup mentality, right? Startup is quick, fast, and you move on to the next thing. That does not happen in a bigger corporation. There's a lot of layers of approval, compliance. You have to make sure that you're in regulatory compliance with all the things you do. I do machine learning, needs to comply with regulations depending on where in the business you are. So there's a different case.
Okay. I was just saying one comment, so there's just one chair.
Yes, there's absolutely. Okay, really quickly, some of the new acquisitions and partnerships that we've done through 2022. And every time I hear I have a new slide with different partnerships, it's clearly something that we like to do and we do successfully. In January, January, we entered a partnership with Ford, and that has to do with security cameras and professional monitorings of technically residential and commercial vehicles, but it makes more sense to start with the commercial vehicles that may have very expensive equipment on their trucks. Again, it's monitoring of those valuables that sit on your truck. Enter the summer, June, we are in a partnership with IOTAS, which may not be so well known, but that's a multifamily smart property provider. So when they put together and offer their properties, they're already pre-wired to be smart, and they have their own application that basically controls your new house from top to bottom. Our partnership is with that to be embedded within their app for SOS functions and monitoring. Uber in August, I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. Again, our So Secure app is embedded within the Uber app. So if you're a driver or a passenger and you want to have a conspicuous way of speaking with somebody, you're not feeling safe, you can do that directly within the app. And it's not so obvious maybe that you're calling 911, etc. And the last one, which just happened last month, was our pretty big collaboration and partnership really with State Farm. State Farm now owns 15% of the company. And the intent is to integrate the smart home technology with home insurance. Again, being proactive and being able to mitigate loss because of fire, water, or intrusion will help lower costs and mitigate claims. So that's intended to be the partnership that we kind of just check that one on paper, and we're going to start work to make sure that that goes forward. Go. Okay, why don't you take this one? This is the fun.
So this is some of the innovation that we just recently released. This is more on the commercial side. So we have some autonomous drones that we have here that are monitoring servers and everything from security purposes. And we also have droids that do autonomous patrols. They have two-way communication from the person who's controlling the drone itself. And then we also have the ability for it to open doors, ride elevators, complete various tasks and functions. Mostly these two abilities, or the drone and the Android itself, is available for only commercial purposes as of right now. But this is just some of the new innovation that ADT has released.
So the reason I didn't have an employee who was able to go to this facility where they have all this cool stuff, it's sitting out in Irving, Texas. I've not been there yet. It sounds a lot of fun. This one kind of covered this one already. All the red dots, those are my team members, and as you can see, they're all over the place, all the way from the West Coast to Central. This is me. This is literally me. Everybody else is red. But again, if you are headquarter based, right now we are in a hybrid fashion of 3 days in, 2 days out, and that is expected to sustain at least through the foreseeable future. I'm sorry, you can control them. This is the enterprise analytics team as it lives and breathes within the walls of ADT. We are roughly 20 people today, and we're kind of distributed across these 4 towers. Marketing insights, they do market insights and research. They do competitive intel research and cross-channel analytics, very traditional function of marketing. The second tower is growth or sales, right? To optimize the sales funnel. They own territory management and custom home segmentation and DIY sales, field sales. Customer attention is my tower, and we focus all around retention insights. How do we keep the customer happier longer? How do we optimize our retention queues? And I also serve as the enterprise machine learning center of excellence. Longest name ever. And the last tower is our financial tower or value management tower. They keep us all in line. They manage our existing customer margin management, offer management, and our price increases. And that in total is the analytics team at ADT. Now to the, stuck this in there.
Yeah.
If anybody's curious, I'll say really quick, this is the tech stack that my team uses today. We're a GCP shop. We're coupled with Google. That was a very easy decision to make. Our data lake lives in GCP. We utilize tools such as IICS, BigQuery, Composer, and Vertex AI as our MLOps platform. We use H2O.ai or driverless. That is our automated machine learning tool. Tableau for visualizations. Use ActionIQ for CDP. If anyone's familiar with customer data platform, those are for customer journeys and deployments, and Salesforce as our CRM tool. Now, audit.
And as part of the IT audit team, some of the stuff that we do audit within that, it's Salesforce, Informatica ICCS, and Google BigQuery Cloud. Just a connection there between the 2 departments. So the main focus of IT or IT audit in general is to detect, deter, prevent, and mitigate risk from an IT standpoint. And pretty much the main governing body that we have to follow is SOX. I'm not just sure if you heard of SOX yet, but you're probably learning it in your accounting class. If you've already taken accounting, you should have heard of that. And also in your information systems class, that's something that you should have learned in there. 2 of the main certificates that would apply in IT audit itself would be the CIA, the Certified Internal Auditor, or the CISA, the Certified Internal Systems Auditor. And these are some of the stuff that I do on a daily basis. Is SOX control testing. So that includes testing of firewalls, patching updates of our current systems, provisioning of new users to certain systems, making sure they're being provisioned accurately within a certain time frame, and then also making sure there's no conflict of duty. So making sure the people who have certain access or abilities to do certain tasks, they're not approving their own tasks. And then also the deprovisioning of those users when they're leaving the company or they're no longer granted access to a particular system, making sure they're removed in a timely fashion or a timely manner. There's some certain special projects that I'm currently working on. They're usually SDLC related. So mostly it's all cloud migration that's working right now. Yes? Okay. So pretty much most of our systems are moving to a cloud-based environment. We still have some stuff that's on-prem. Some of the most recent stuff that we've done testing on is our HR system, accounting, IT project system. And then also, we're also doing testing on certain RPAs, robotic process automations. So there are certain bots that we have in place that do certain functions or certain tasks. And it can be very minimal to checking off a box, to sending an email to somebody. But we just have to make sure that bot is doing its certain task or job. Yes. I would say verifying that all the data when they're transferring over from on-prem to cloud matches one-to-one or it's complete, because sometimes we don't receive all the accurate information. So just verifying to make sure that it's complete and accurate, I would say.
When you say mitigate risk,
Yeah, mitigate risk, I guess, is just, so for an example, when we're provisioning a person to a certain system, mitigating risk in the regards of, okay, we're making sure that this person is being approved in a timely fashion. So just making sure that this person had access from, the date that's set in the documentation to the date it was terminated, because then if this person had certain commands or certain functions that they could do, like 3 or 4, but then we actually audit the system itself and we were able to find out, oh no, this person had a 5th command. So then on top of that, we then have to verify, did this person use that certain command or function? And if they did, then what did they do within that particular function? But that's just a worst case scenario, If this happens, then we have to do further investigation. So the less things that we find, it's the best case scenario, I would say. Yes. Not me particularly, but we do have another team that's called our InfoSec team that normally deals with that, and we work in conjunction with them. So I personally don't work with malware itself.
I'll just ask. Answer my question.
Okay. And now about our internship program, as Elena was saying, it's revamping. So it's going to be a 10-week program. That's going to be from May to August. And usually the recruiting cycle is going to start in November. I know I spoke with somebody with HR and she said that the applications should open up sometime in January, but right now they're currently recruiting for either interns or full-time position. And they've been at the different career fairs here at FAU. So, and within the internship program itself, you're going to come up with a business solution for a particular problem. So depending on the department that you get assigned to or the department that you apply for that particular internship, you'll be given a business problem within that specific function. And then you'll be able to come up with a solution for that particular problem that's ADT is facing right now. And then you may have to present that particular solution or idea that you come up with to higher ups, directors, sometimes VPs or managers within that specific department that you're assigned to. And then if you also guys want to take out your phones, we also have the QR codes for our careers page and our LinkedIn page if you want to connect with us. And then also there is a flyer that I gave out to Professor Sweets, or if you're online, if you want to take a screenshot of it, that will take you to a particular database and you can enter your information so that way you can receive alerts when certain internships do come up or certain careers or jobs come up that you're probably interested in.
And we have interns today, they just don't go through a program. This is intended to be a program to make sure that everybody goes through it, has a similar experience. Today, every department is allowed to open internship positions as they please. And the goal is always to turn them into permanent employees. We currently have 4 and 2 of them are graduating in December and they're already being extended offers. So as long as you prove yourself and you prove that it's a good fit for you, right? It's a 2-way street. Then the goal is always at the end of the internship program is that you become an ADT.
Did the internship program?
She did the departmental individual one. Yeah, this has not been around for maybe 5-6 years. And it is coming back now. It always used to be in the summer. So you can see the dates are very, very specific. And that's the way that they want to keep it for this round. And it'll continue to evolve every year.
Yes.
How was operating during COVID?
Say that again?
How did you guys operate during COVID?
Oh, well, I just joined the company, so I could not speak on that. So maybe when I could.
So one day we went home and we didn't go back. No. I mean, yes, literally that's what it was. We've always been set up to be able to fully work from remote since 10 years ago. That's not been a problem. The firm historically was not pro remote work. Some firms used to do like Friday you work from home or Monday you work from home. That was not us. So when COVID hit, we all went home. And it wasn't such a big deal for corporate employees, But if you imagine we had thousands of employees to sit and take monitored calls, or they process personal payments over the phone, and they now had to function from home. So that was really the biggest issue where we ended up instituting a whole bunch of new standards. We have new standards now that we have to follow in order to take credit card payments from home, and also the reliability, right, of being able to take an alarm call and you're still working from home. Those departments that are not corporate, again, are still fully remote today. So it's obviously working very well for them. For corporate, they really like to have the presence here. Headquarters is here, presence matters, and that's why we're coming back hybrid. But I would say it's been a journey, just like everybody else. We didn't do everything right the first time. We had a few phases where people thought COVID was done and we were called back to the office, and then 2 weeks later we were sent home and then we were called back, right? It's a bit of a trial and error, but at the end of the day, I think hybrid for us right now is really working well. It's kind of in the middle, and people who wants to go 5 days a week are more than welcome to go 5 days a week. No issues. If you have to work from home 1 week because you have other obligations, again, it's not a big deal. It's kind of a happy medium. But
Is the internship also structured as hybrid or is it fully in person?
I believe the internship is structured fully in person. The intent is for you to be in both, which is good. This is quickly a few things about the office. We like to brag about the office that is totally empty today because we're only in 3 days a week, but it's very nice. In general, we have very standard salary and sort of fringe benefits and perks package with your standard insurance, your HSA, FSA, which the company does match, 401k. You get paid vacation and holidays, disability, life insurance. We do tuition reimbursement. It's roughly $2,500 a year. And employee assistance, which is like attorney assistance and mental health assistance predominantly. If you go to the office, which when I'm there, I take full advantage of everything I possibly can. There's a cafeteria, Starbucks, gym, spa, salon, chiropractor, credit union, ATM. And there's some pictures here. We go full out for Halloween this year. We also did a holiday parade and party. We joined the holiday parade.
Yeah.
We looked very different, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of people turned up, and it's a lot of colleagues who haven't seen each other for 2 years. So it was actually a whole lot of fun. And on that high note, that was really all the material that we intended to cover today. I'm more than happy to take questions. If you don't want to speak in front of everybody, you can stay up front and you can come up front. If you
Yes, I have a question online.
Go ahead, Carl.
So for the internship opportunity, if someone is interested in flying out of state for an internship, do you guys provide relocation assistance or no?
I do not believe so. You would have to confirm with the department that's conducting it. In the past, we did not cover relocation. We would help, meaning we would help with housing and finding opportunities for housing, but we did not cover it as a part of the program.
Okay,
Could
thank you.
change today, but sure. Ooh, can I stop the recording in case
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
doesn't want to be recorded? All right.